Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Today, we're going to talk about crime.
Particularly the crime of theft.
Theft. When someone steals something from you.
Something like this. A checkbook.
Or this. A wallet.
Or these. Credit cards.
This is a very dangerous station.
Is it?
Yes. Someone stole my wallet here yesterday.
Really?
Yes. I was standing right here.
What were you doing?
I was reading a newspaper. I was standing here and I was reading a newspaper. Like this. And I was eating an apple. Like this. And I was listening to a cassette. Like this.
And someone stole your wallet?
Yes. It's incredible, isn't it?
Last week, somebody stole my credit cards. It was last Tuesday. I was having lunch on my houseboat when the telephone rang.
Is there a telephone on the boat?
Yes, Natalie. So, I was having lunch when the phone rang.
He was having lunch when the phone rang. He was having lunch when. You can also say, while he was having lunch, the phone rang. While he was having lunch.
While I was having lunch, the phone rang.
So what did you do?
I answered it. I went into my bedroom and answered the telephone.
Who was it?
My mother. While I was talking to her, I heard a noise. Somebody opened the door of the boat.
Who was it?
I don't know. I said goodbye to my mother, put the phone down, and ran into the other room. Nobody was there.
Somebody opened the door. Somebody or someone. Someone opened the door. Kevin ran into the other room, but nobody was there. Nobody or no one. No one was there.
No one was there.
Perhaps it was the wind.
No, I did hear someone. And that person stole my credit cards.
Are you sure? Perhaps you lost them.
No, someone did steal them
How do you know?
because the police caught the thief.
A thief. A thief is someone who steals things, who takes things. Someone who steals things from a house is called a burglar. A burglar. There was a burglar in Julia Marsh's flat last night. Or she thought there was.
Morning, Julia.
Morning, James.
Did you go to the cinema last night?
Yes.
Did you enjoy the film?
Yes, it was very good. But the strangest thing happened when I got home.
What?
Well, when I got home, I came up the stairs and started to put my key in the door.
Yes.
And I heard a noise. A noise like a computer in my flat. I thought it was a burglar.
So what did you do?
I ran into the street and phoned the police from the phone box on the corner. Well, they came very quickly. But while we were walking up the stairs, my door opened. I thought, oh no, the burglar's coming out. But it wasn't a burglar.
Who was it?
It was Carl.
Carl?
Well, you know, Carl Schiller from Munich.
Oh, Carl. Carl?
Yes.
What was he doing here?
He was waiting for me to come home. Imagine. While I was sitting in the cinema, Carl was sitting in my flat.
While Julia was sitting in the cinema, Carl was sitting in her flat. While Julia was sitting, Carl was sitting.
So, it wasn't a burglar. It was Carl, and he didn't steal anything. Has anybody ever stolen anything from you?
Yes, my family was burgled some years ago when I was living at home.
I had my bag stolen out of my car. It happened I was finishing duty and I was picking a friend up. I'd actually locked the car and left the bag in the front of the car on the floor. I was about 2 to 3 minutes, came back, the window was smashed and the bag was gone.
When I was growing up, we used to leave our bicycles in a garage that was unlocked, and people started stealing them, so we eventually had to lock up the garage.
My house was broken into by a burglar about 5 or 6 years ago, and all the electronic equipment was stolen, television and hi-fi, and also all my wife's jewellery.
Back to James and Julia. James wants to know what Carl was doing at the flat last night.
What was Carl doing here?
I told you. He was waiting for me. He wanted to talk about a new computer.
How did he get in?
The porter let him in.
Why did he do that?
He knows Carl. He came to the flat one day while he was staying in London.
Carl's been to this flat?
Yes, don't you remember?
No, you didn't tell me that.
I did tell you. I remember.
You sure?
Yes, I'm quite sure.
Okay. Where's Carl now?
He's at his hotel.
Oh, good.
But he's coming here this morning.
Oh, good.
He wants us to work together on a new project.
Oh, good.
Kathy Ellison is a police officer in Austin, Texas. Let's find out about her job.
I've been with the Austin Police Department for 13 and a half years. Currently, I'm assigned to Crimes Against Property, the Theft Division. Theft entails several areas. We investigate white-collar crime. We investigate property crimes. We investigate anything to do with embezzlements or any kind of stolen property. We investigate all those types of crimes. When you graduate from the academy, everyone is assigned to patrol, so you have to do at least 2 years in patrol, and that's what I did. One of the things you do is you learn how to get from one place to the other quickly. You learn what your major streets are, and so you just drive around trying to find out who lives where and who knows what's going on. Every district has an area where one person knows what's going on all over. I mean, that person stays home all day, and they're just looking out, and those are the people that we look for. What most people call nosy people are our best informants, is finding out what's going on. And I think that people tend to trust people of the same race. And I found that even when I was taking police calls with another officer who was not a black officer, if the person that we were talking to were black, they would just, for some reason, turn to me and not the other officer.
All these your kids? Hey.
I get afraid a lot of the times, but one of the things that you're taught in the cadet class is if people don't see that you're frightened and if you just do your job, and I've talked my way out of a lot of things.
Hey, y'all, I can't even hear myself talk. Please.
Were there any funny moments on patrol?
Several years ago when I was working patrol in Northwest Austin, I received a call of a female who was distraught. She said that someone was in her home. I was the first officer there. I didn't know where my backup was. And she ran to the door and she goes, they're in here right now. So as we were walking through her home, it was dark, her lights weren't on, and she was behind me, you know, just stuck to me, like, I don't know, it was just really funny. But she saying that the person was in the bedroom because that's where she saw them. And as we were walking through her apartment, the wind came through and blew a curtain right into me, and I thought there was a person that pushed that curtain, and I had my gun drawn and almost shot that curtain.
You want to sit him in your car for a second?
Sure. This is his car right here?
Yeah, that's his car. He's temporarily
Whose car?
This car?
Yeah.
Mine.
You driving it?
Yeah.
You got a license?
Not.
Why not?
I ain't gonna get one.
How old are you?
16.
Police work was not a goal of mine. I didn't grow up wanting to be a police officer. I didn't even decide to become a police officer until my senior year at college. But because I've worked in various assignments from recruiting to community services and the Police Neighborhood Center and now theft, I like it a lot.
Well, I couldn't do that job.
Nor could I.
Well, that's all for now. But remember, be very careful with your wallet.
Your checkbook.
And your... and your credit cards.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Look Ahead helps prepare you for Cambridge Level 1 Key English Test, KET. Cambridge Level 2 Preliminary English Test, PET. Contact the British Council or Cambridge Examinations.